Have your legs been feeling a little different lately? Maybe you're walking a bit slower than usual. Climbing stairs feels more like a chore. Or you're waking up with that dull ache in your calves that just wasn't there before. You've been eating healthy, doing your best. Maybe you even cut back on junk food and started reaching for more fruits. Apples, bananas, a few grapes here and there. Sounds familiar, right? But here's the part no one really talks about. What if I told you some of those very fruits, yes, the ones you've always believed were good for you, could actually be quietly draining your strength? Not in a dramatic, overnight way, but slowly. Silently. Week after week, robbing your legs of the power and stability they once had. You see, for many seniors, losing leg strength isn't just about sore muscles. It's not just about feeling tired. It's about losing independence. Losing balance. Losing the confidence to take a walk outside or even get out of bed without worry. And that's not something you or your loved ones can afford to ignore. Because here's the truth most people overlook: not all fruits are created equal, especially when it comes to aging bodies. Some can trigger inflammation. Others mess with your blood sugar. A few even interfere with the minerals your muscles need to stay strong and steady. But no one warns you about this at the doctor's office. No one talks about this at the grocery store. You're just doing your best, trying to eat healthy, but some of these innocent-looking fruits may be doing more harm than good. And that's why you need to hear what I'm about to share. In this video, we're diving deep into 6 seemingly healthy fruits that may actually be weakening your legs and stealing your mobility right from under you. We'll uncover what they are, why they're risky for seniors, and most importantly, what you can eat instead to protect your strength and stay on your feet longer. Stick with me, especially for it's the one nobody sees coming. And before we jump in, I'd love to know, have you noticed changes in your leg strength lately, even while eating better? Comment below and just say, I want strong legs. That one comment could spark a conversation that helps someone else too. If you care about your health, your freedom, and the power to live life on your terms, subscribe to Elders Wisdom Institute right now. We're here to guide you through the aging journey with knowledge, compassion, and truth. Alright, let's uncover the fruits that may be stealing your strength. Let me ask you something personal. What's your favorite snack in the evening? A little handful of grapes, maybe? Sweet, juicy, easy on the stomach. You probably don't even think twice before popping a few into your mouth, right? Well, let me tell you a story. There's a man named Mr. Lewis. He's 73. Retired, kind-hearted, sharp as ever, and like a lot of folks his age, he's doing his best to stay healthy. Every night after dinner, he'd sit by the window with a little bowl of red grapes. It was his routine. His healthy treat. At first, it was fine. But over time, Mr. Lewis started noticing something odd. His legs felt heavier. His calves cramped more during the night. Getting up from a chair became harder than it used to be. He thought maybe he was just getting older. That's what we all think, right? But here's the twist: his problem wasn't his age. It was the grapes. Now, don't get me wrong. Grapes look innocent. They're natural. They've got antioxidants, sure. But they're also loaded with natural sugars, especially fructose. And as you age, your body doesn't process sugars the way it used to. Too much sugar, even the kind that comes from fruit, can lead to inflammation, especially in your joints and muscles. And chronic inflammation? That's one of the biggest culprits behind muscle weakness, leg pain, and balance issues. Not only that, but grapes also spike your blood sugar quickly. That sudden rise and fall? It wears your energy down and contributes to insulin resistance, another major factor that affects how strong and stable your legs feel. And here's the part nobody tells you. Even something healthy can hurt you if it's the wrong fit for your body right now. See, we've been trained to believe fruit is always good. And in moderation, sure, some are. But grapes are one of those fruits that can easily tip the scale if you're not careful. Especially if you're snacking on them daily, or like Mr. Lewis, using them as a guilt-free replacement for dessert. But you don't have to give them up entirely. Here's what I want you to do instead: scale back. Instead of a bowl full of grapes, try a small handful of berries, blueberries or raspberries. They're lower in sugar, packed with antioxidants, and much easier on your blood sugar levels. Just that small change could mean fewer leg cramps, better energy, and a step towards stronger, steadier legs. Because you deserve to move confidently. To walk without worry. To stand up without feeling like your legs are failing you. And listen, grapes aren't the only ones hiding behind a healthy mask. Let's talk about another fruit you probably eat often, especially for the potassium. But it might be doing more harm than good. Now, let's talk about another fruit that almost everyone swears by: bananas. How many times have you heard, "Eat a banana, it's great for potassium"? Maybe your doctor even told you that. Maybe you reach for one every morning, or slice it into your oatmeal, thinking you're doing your body a favor. And yes, bananas do have potassium, which your muscles absolutely need. But here's the part no one tells you. Too much banana can throw your body's delicate balance way off. You see, potassium isn't the only player in muscle health. Your muscles rely on a very sensitive balance between potassium, magnesium, sodium, and calcium. They're like teammates. If one of them is too high or too low, the whole system gets thrown out of sync. That's exactly what happens when you eat too many bananas. Let me paint a picture. A lovely woman named Mrs. Genevieve. She's 76, walks every morning, stays sharp, and loves her fruit. She was eating 2, sometimes 3 bananas a day. Doctor said they're good for cramps, she'd say with a smile. But guess what started happening? Her legs felt like jelly after walks. She'd get cramps, not just at night, but even while sitting. And no matter how much water she drank, the tired, twitchy feeling in her calves wouldn't go away. It wasn't until she spoke to a nutritionist that she found out. Her magnesium and sodium levels were off. The high potassium from the bananas was crowding out the other essential minerals. Her muscles weren't lacking fuel, they were overloaded in one area and deficient in another. And that's the thing, people often think more is better, but when it comes to nutrients, balance is everything. Too much potassium without enough magnesium or sodium. It can cause muscle fatigue, cramping, and even dizziness. So what should you do? If you love bananas, that's okay. Just don't go overboard. One small banana a day is usually safe for most seniors. But don't stop there. Add more variety. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are excellent sources of magnesium. Avocados give you a better, more balanced dose of potassium and healthy fats. Even a pinch of sea salt in your meals can support proper sodium levels, especially if you've been sweating or walking a lot. It's not about removing everything you love. It's about knowing what your body really needs now that it's changing. And here's something else. Bananas aren't the only sneaky ones. The next fruit. Almost every senior drinks it. It's refreshing. It sounds healthy. But it might just be quietly draining your muscles from the inside out. Now let's talk about something that might really surprise you. Oranges. Bright, refreshing, full of vitamin C. It's the go-to fruit when you're feeling tired or trying to stay healthy, right? For years, we've been told, start your day with a glass of orange juice, it boosts your immunity, gives you energy. But for some seniors, that innocent glass of OJ may be doing more harm than good. Take Linda, for example. She's 68. full of life. Used to love her morning routine. She'd sit by the kitchen window, read her paper, and sip on a tall glass of fresh squeezed orange juice. It was her healthy habit. She even bought a juicer to make it herself, thinking it was the best way to nourish her body. But not long after starting this daily ritual, Linda began to notice a stiffness in her joints. Her knees started to ache when she walked. She felt slower, almost like her legs weren't keeping up with her usual pace. At first, she chalked it up to aging. But something didn't feel right. What Linda didn't realize was this: orange juice, even when fresh, is a concentrated sugar bomb. Oranges, by nature, are acidic and high in fructose, a type of sugar that's hard on the body when consumed in large amounts. And when you juice an orange, you remove all the fiber that slows down sugar absorption. What you're left with is a fast rush of sugar into your bloodstream, which causes blood sugar spikes, followed by crashes. That crash? It drains your energy. That sugar spike? It triggers inflammation, especially in the joints and muscles. And that's exactly what was happening to Linda. She wasn't just drinking orange juice, she was drinking the equivalent of several oranges in one sitting, all stripped of their fiber, flooding her system with sugar and acid. Over time, that can wear down your joints, fatigue your muscles, and leave you feeling weaker, even though you thought you were doing something healthy. So what can you do instead? If you love oranges, don't worry, you don't have to give them up. But here's the key: eat the whole fruit, not the juice. The fiber in whole oranges slows down how quickly the sugar enters your blood. That means less inflammation, more steady energy. And here's an extra tip: pair your orange with a little protein. Maybe a boiled egg or a spoonful of Greek yogurt. This helps keep your blood sugar stable and gives your muscles the fuel they really need. Because remember, it's not just about what you eat, it's about how your body responds to it, especially as you age. Now, if oranges caught you off guard, wait until you hear about the next one. It's a fruit you'll find in just about every fruit salad. It's sweet. It's soft. It feels tropical and indulgent. But behind that tropical sweetness, it's quietly pulling calcium from your body. Let's talk about it. Now let's talk about a fruit that looks like sunshine, but might be quietly dimming your strength from the inside out. Pineapple. Tropical, juicy, bursting with flavor. Pineapple feels like a treat, doesn't it? You see it in fruit salads, smoothie bowls, even grilled with dinner. And it's easy to think, it's just fruit, it must be good for me. But here's something you might not know. Too much pineapple can actually interfere with how your body absorbs calcium, ***, which is critical for keeping your legs strong and steady. Let me tell you about George. George is 70, retired mechanic, big heart, strong will. He started making breakfast smoothies every morning with all kinds of fruit, but he always added pineapple. Sometimes fresh chunks, sometimes frozen, sometimes juice. It gave his breakfast that tropical kick. But soon after starting this habit, George noticed something odd. His legs ached more after breakfast. Not later in the day, not after walking, but right after breakfast. His thighs felt sore, his calves tight, and walking upstairs? It started to feel like dragging weights. At first, he blamed it on age or maybe sleeping in the wrong position. But when he spoke to his dietitian, they looked closely at his meals. And the real issue? The pineapple. See, pineapple is highly acidic. And while a little bit here and there might be fine, regular large servings can actually interfere with calcium absorption. Over time, that means weaker bones, less stable joints, and muscles that don't contract as efficiently. Now, here's why that matters for you. As you age, your calcium stores naturally decline. You're already working against the clock. If a daily fruit habit, like George's, is making it harder for your body to hold on to what little calcium it has left, that's a quiet danger. Your legs need calcium not just for bone strength, but for muscle control and balance. And the sad part is, no one warns you. Because pineapple is seen as this tropical superfruit, full of enzymes and vitamin C. And sure, it has some benefits. But too much can chip away at the very foundation you need to stand strong. So what should you do? Moderation is key. If you love pineapple, that's okay. But instead of eating a whole bowl, try a few chunks with something that protects your calcium, like a serving of plain Greek yogurt or low-fat cottage cheese. The protein and calcium in dairy can help buffer the acidity and support your body's mineral balance. It's not about fear. It's about wisely choosing what supports your strength. And if George could go back and do it differently, he'd still enjoy his pineapple, just not every day, and not without balancing it. Now, the next fruit we need to talk about? You've probably had it in your smoothie. Or maybe you enjoy it frozen as a snack. It's mild, it's creamy, and it's packed with nutrients, or so you thought. But what if I told you it might be silently draining your vitamin B levels, and with it, the very energy your muscles depend on? Now here's a fruit that's found its way into almost every senior's morning routine. Lemon. You slice it, squeeze it, and drop it into a glass of warm water before breakfast. You've probably heard it's cleansing, detoxifying, great for digestion. And yes, it can be refreshing. It can support hydration. But like anything that seems too good, there's a side you're not being told. Let's talk about what's really going on. Many seniors, maybe even you, start their day with lemon water. And sure, it feels clean. It feels healthy. But what's not often mentioned is this: over time, some folks begin to notice muscle stiffness. Or even a tingling in the legs and feet. At first, it doesn't seem connected. It's easy to think, maybe I slept wrong, or maybe it's just circulation. But let me tell you a little story. There was a woman named Helen, 72, lively spirit, loved morning walks. She read online that lemon water would help her digestion, so she started drinking it daily. Every single morning without fail. At first, she felt great. But a few weeks in, her calves started feeling tight. She couldn't stretch them out as easily as before. Then came a light buzzing in her toes. Not pain exactly, just off. Her doctor ran tests, nothing serious turned up. Until a nutritionist asked one key question: have you been drinking lemon water every day? Here's the truth behind that question. Lemons are acidic. And when you flood your system with acidity on a daily basis, especially without balancing it out, it can interfere with how your body absorbs certain key nutrients. Magnesium and B vitamins, in particular, are vulnerable. And those two are vital for your leg health. Magnesium helps muscles relax and function properly. Vitamin B, especially B12 and B6, support nerve health, muscle coordination, and energy metabolism. If you're not absorbing those well, the result is what Helen felt: tightness, tingling, weakness. Now here's the kicker. Lemon water in moderation isn't bad. But daily, without variation? That's where the risk creeps in. And that brings us to one of the biggest misconceptions out there: more lemon equals more detox. But your body isn't a dirty sponge. It's a highly intelligent system that already knows how to detox when it has the right balance of minerals and hydration. Overdoing acidic foods, even healthy ones like lemon, can quietly push that system out of balance. So what's the better approach? Try this: use lemon water just 2 or 3 times a week, not every day. And on other days? Cucumber-infused water. It's hydrating, naturally cooling, and gentle on your system. You get the same refreshing sensation without tipping your mineral balance. You're not giving anything up, you're just being smarter about how you support your body. Because at this stage in life, balance is everything. And now, we've come to the final fruit on this list. It's one you'd probably never expect to see here. It's not tropical. It's not flashy. In fact, it's one of the most trusted and widely eaten fruits in the world. But for seniors, especially those dealing with leg fatigue or slow recovery after walks or exercise, this fruit might be doing more harm than good. Take a breath with me here. Because everything we've just talked about, it's not just about fruit. It's not just about sugar, or acids, or vitamins. It's about your strength. Your ability to move freely, to walk without fear, to bend down and tie your shoes, to get out of a chair without needing help. Watching your body change. Or watching someone you love struggle with walking, standing, or even just staying steady, it's not just physical. It cuts deeper. It stirs something inside. Because mobility isn't just about muscles, it's about freedom. It's about dignity. And when that starts to slip, even in small ways, it can feel like the world is shrinking. But let me tell you something from the heart. This isn't about being scared. This isn't about guilt or regret, or thinking I wish I'd known sooner. This is about empowerment. Because now, you know. You know that not everything labeled healthy is right for you at this stage of life. You know that some of those trusted fruits, like grapes, bananas, oranges, pineapple, lemons, might be holding you back, even if they helped you once. But most importantly, you now have the power to change it. And it doesn't have to be drastic. It doesn't mean throwing out everything in your kitchen. It means taking a quiet moment today to glance at your fruit bowl. Really look. Ask yourself, are any of these 6 fruits sitting here, waiting to be eaten without a second thought? If so, maybe today's the day you make a gentle swap. Try replacing grapes with a handful of blueberries. Switch the daily banana for half an avocado. Trade that lemon water for cucumber and mint. Give your body the fuel it needs to stay steady, supported, and strong. You see, small changes? They create big ripples. Especially over time. And even if your legs have felt weak lately, even if you've had cramps, or tingling, or unsteadiness, it's not too late. With care, with awareness, with the right information, you can feel the difference. Your legs carry you through life's simplest joys, getting to the front door, walking through the garden, standing to hug your grandchild. Let's not give those moments away for the sake of habits we never questioned. You've got this. And we're in this together. You are not powerless. You're just beginning a new chapter, one rooted in wisdom, in intention, and in hope. So don't be afraid to begin. Your strength is still within you. Let's protect it, starting today. Let's take a moment and quickly go over what we uncovered today. 6 fruits, yes, fruits, that you've likely trusted for years, might actually be working against your leg strength, your balance, and your overall mobility. So here they are, one more time: grapes. Sweet, but high in sugar that fuels inflammation. Bananas, helpful in moderation, but too many can throw off your electrolyte balance. Oranges, especially as juice, can spike your blood sugar and sap muscle energy. Pineapple, acidic and may interfere with how your body absorbs calcium. Lemons, when overused, they may disrupt your magnesium and B vitamin levels. And lastly, apples, yes, even apples can quietly trigger blood sugar crashes in seniors who are sensitive. These are everyday fruits, most of us have them sitting in our kitchens right now. But knowledge is power. And now you know. So let me ask you this, which one surprised you the most? Was it bananas? Lemons? Maybe apples? Or is there a fruit you eat often and you're now wondering, wait, could this be affecting my legs too? Let's talk about it. Scroll down and share your thoughts in the comments. I read them. I learn from them. And I'd truly love to hear from you. Because this channel, Elders Wisdom Institute, it's not just a place to learn. It's a place to connect, to feel heard, to feel guided, and to feel empowered as you age with strength, clarity, and intention. So if you found even one helpful tip today, if something made you pause and think, that might be me, please consider giving this video a like. It helps more seniors and caregivers find this life-changing information. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. There's so much more I want to share with you about strength, balance, memory, nutrition, and joyful aging. Because your later years don't have to be about decline. They can be about renewal. Thank you for being here today. For listening. For caring about your body, your health, and your future. Stay wise, stay strong. And I'll see you right here in the next video.